Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us for News 5 Now at 8 o'clock. I'm Shamani Baker, and happy Wednesday. We made it to the middle of the week. We've got a lot to cover, including 2 groundbreakings this morning. We'll tell you all about those stories in just a second.
Brought to you by Green & Phillips, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Well, you know the drill. We always start off the morning with our big stories. Starting us off with number 5, Major League Baseball announced that Pete Rose and shoeless Joe Jackson will now be eligible to be voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Both men had been issued a lifetime ban for gambling. Under the Hall of Fame's current rules, the earliest Rose or Jackson could be voted in would be in 2027. Number 4. Northwest Florida's first ever female police chief is taking the reins. Jennifer Frank was sworn in as Milton's new police chief yesterday. Frank says professionalism and training are the main goals she has set out for the department. Number 3. The groundbreaking for the Margaritaville in Orange Beach will take place at 10 o'clock this morning. The new location at the wharf will be the first Margaritaville location in Alabama. The first phase of construction is expected to wrap up in 2027. Also at 10 o'clock this morning, there's also going to be a groundbreaking for Lewis Landing here in Mobile County. It's a 2-acre park over on 3 Mile Creek. So 2 groundbreakings at the same time this morning. There you have it. Number 2. A former Mobile County Sheriff's Office employee was booked into Metro Jail Tuesday afternoon, charged with helping a wanted murder suspect. 46-year-old Andrea Nettles is charged with hindering the prosecution. She allegedly allowed Gregory Jowers to live at her house. Jowers had been on the run for more than 4 months for the murder of Tommy Fabian after he allegedly severely beat him to death on Christmas Day. Jowers was captured on Monday following a standoff with deputies and U.S. Marshals at a home on Forest Oaks Drive. Nettles was a community resource officer before her arrest. She was released from Metro Jail on a $3,000 bond. And number 1 for us this morning, a traffic stop in Key West, Florida, led to a break-in, a cold case here in Mobile County. A man deputies wanted to question for years about a woman found dead is now in custody. Investigators believe 64-year-old Ralph Pullock may have been connected to the November 2017 death of Joyce Beausarge. She was found off Rebel Road in Theodore. Investigators say shortly after that, Pullock quit his job, left town, and now we know that Pullock was in Key West for at least some of that time, apparently using a different name. We did end up speaking to the victim, Joyce Beausarge's friend, yesterday, and this is bringing a little bit more peace to their family and the friends of Joyce, who had so many questions for years about what happened to her, and now they feel like they're getting a little bit of that justice. Of course, it'll never bring her back, but that is what we heard from them yesterday. We are going to move over to our question of the day, which is, what would you do if you saw a bear in your yard? What would you do, y'all? Me? Scream. I would scream, lock the doors, close the blinds. I'm just kidding. Preston says, tell it Goldilocks doesn't live here. That's right. Goldilocks doesn't live here. That is so funny. Ricky says, tell my wife there's a really hot guy in the yard and then lock the door when she goes out to check on it. That is not nice, Ricky. Really? Setting your wife up. That's not right. Linda says, what I always do, go in to get my phone for a picture. I'm with you. As long as I'm not too close to the bear, I can take a picture from inside the house. I'm good to go. Sylvia says, post signs, no trespassing. Do not feed the bears. Okay. I like it. What would y'all do if you're watching and you haven't commented on this question of the day? What would you do if you saw a bear in your yard? And that's pretty common in our area. If you're anywhere along the Gulf Coast, that is common, as you all know. So what would you do? In the meantime, our poll of the day is, do you agree with MLB's decision to remove players from permanently ineligible lists? As we told you all, two baseball legends, Pete Rose and shoeless Joe Jackson, have been reconsidered for the Baseball Hall of Fame. What do you all think about that? Again, I think we said earlier in our story, they were banned at one point because of gambling, but now they have been added back to the eligible list. What are your thoughts on that? Let's see what people are saying. 64 people said yes. 6 people said no opinion. 7 people said no. So 64 folks, that's the majority, are saying yes. They do agree with MLB's decision to remove players from permanently being ineligible. Ginger says Pete was the best. Chris says no. If they change one rule, what's the use in having any rules? Okay. Jerry says completely agree. Should have been done years ago. Hall of Fame should be based on performance. Okay. Yes. Peter says the league allows people who use performance-enhancing drugs to be eligible. Stop picking and choosing the rules to follow. Okay. Linda says, I guess now it's semi-permanent. Okay. Trenton says, knew they were going to wait until Pete died to reinstate him. So we're getting some mixed reviews here. What do you think? What do you think? We want to hear from you. All you have to do is head over to our Facebook page and make sure you are following and subscribing to the page first. And then you can chime in on those questions and polls of the day, and we will read some of your responses right here on News 5 Now. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me this morning for News 5 Now at 8 o'clock. Don't forget, Devin Walsh, Simone Sherrod, and Caroline Carruthers will be on at 9 o'clock with your news, weather, and traffic updates. Until then, y'all have a great day, and I will see you at the same time tomorrow. See y'all later. Have a great Wednesday.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips.